All right, geometry, this is section 2 of week 5. In this section, we're going to look at angle measures as well as arc measures inside a circle. Now, the good news is it really doesn't matter if they're asking us to find angle measures or if they're asking us to find arc measures, because when the angles are at the center of our circle, the angle measures will always be equal to the arc measures. The one big thing you have to remember to solve these questions is that the total measurement of all circles is 360 degrees. Whether you're finding the total measurement going around the angle measures, or whether you're finding the total measurement around the arc, that's always going to equal 360 degrees. So in this first example, we're asked to find arc measure EF. And then we're given two of the other arcs. They add up to 260 degrees. Since the entire circle is 360 degrees, I simply subtract. And that's going to give me an answer of 100 degrees. Now, the arcs were given, and I know that the missing arc is 100 degrees. But because the angle measures and the arc measures are equal, I know that not only is that 100 degrees, but I also know that this is 100 degrees. So they could have asked me to find this missing angle, or if they really wanted to, they could have made it an even simpler question and asked me to find either of these angles. And those would simply be equal to the arcs that they are across from. This would be 110. This would be 150. So it doesn't matter which one they ask you to solve for, you're still going to hopefully remember that the total measurement is 360 degrees. Since we were asked to find EF, the arc, we know the answer for this one is going to be 100. So we'll type in 100 just to verify that the score goes up. And you can see our score improved. Now this is almost an identical question with just different measurements. So you can tell that we would solve this one very similarly. The questions really don't get harder until you reach that minimum-ish goal that I want you to get of about 70. So if I jump ahead in difficulty, you can see that I'm at a score of 64 before any real algebra pops up. So if you guys get to one of the algebra questions, you're still going to tell yourself that you're using the same rule. All of the arcs or all of the angles add up to 360. So if I'm doing this question, for instance, I'm going to need to do a little bit of algebra. I would solve this question by first adding together all three arcs. Now there's an x here and there's an x here. So when I add those together, I will get two x's. Now there are three constant values up here: 56, 67, 91. I would tell all of you to use a calculator on these just because there's a lot of numbers to keep track of. So 91 plus 67 plus 56 is giving me a total of 214. So now that I have added all three arcs together, I just have to remember that the total is 360. And from here, I just need to complete the algebra. Subtract 214 from both sides of the equation. That's going to give me that 2x equals 146. Finally, divide by 2 on both sides of the equation, and that should give me an x value of 73. So I'm going to type in 73. We will verify that our score goes up, and that will be the end of this section. And there you go, guys. You can see that the score improved. That means that we got it correct. So if you see any questions related to central angles and arc measures, the big thing to remember is that the total is 360 degrees. So that should be plenty to get you through this section. Hopefully this video helped. I'll see you guys in the last video for week 5.